Welcome to Ringside Pulse.
What's up, everyone, and welcome back to Ringside Pulse. And welcome to Raw Rewind. I am your host tonight, London Lee, alongside Mr. TBK and Mr. Chris Craven. Tonight, we are going to give our thoughts and feelings about what transpired as we get closer to WrestleMania. So first up, we're going to be hitting about Rhea, Bianca, and Io. So do you guys think that her nose got broken?
I don't know. I mean, she got hit pretty hard. That was a pretty brutal drop kick. And you know what? I wouldn't say that Rhea didn't deserve it, man. After, 2-3 weeks of having somebody mush you in the face over and over again. She's lucky all she got was, well, I mean, yeah. Well, she's lucky all she got was kicked in the back. I don't think I wouldn't take it too many times.
Well, I kind of feel like Io's like that one little net that kind of just flies around and you constantly just want to swap at her.
Yeah, well,
if that makes any sense.
I mean, I don't know, man. Like people are for the first time, they're kind of indifferent about Rhea being in this match, right? Because she kind of pulled a John Cena. She wanted to be in the match, so she inserted herself in, and now she's there, and Bianca, people, are getting tired of seeing her in the title picture, but she earned it.
So that's a good point, but on Raw, when Bianca picked that mic up and started shooting, when she started running her mouth, whether she earned it or not with the chamber win, they weren't feeling it. That crowd was basically like, I'll give a fuck. They wanted that crowd particularly, and maybe more to come. They didn't care that Bianca was out there. They didn't want her out there. They were happy as hell when Ripley come out that and did her normal thing. They saw she was there. She was ready with her game face on and ready to go. People popped for Ripley. They popped for Io. They did not give Bianca Belair a good response. Period.
That's because mommy's always on top.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I was not a huge Io Sky fan up until recently. I mean, look, it's not like she's, super talented in the ring or anything like that, but she holds her own. And like I said, it keeps the title picture fresh for the women's division, because if it's not Rhea, it's Bianca. If it's not Bianca, it's Becky. And if it's not Becky, it's Charlotte. And people are getting tired of the same old. So, I mean, honestly, I think if you're gonna give Io the rub, you do right by her and you put her over at Mania.
Right.
I just think that people don't take Io seriously.
Io is a very fierce competitor. She's a very good talent that the company has in the women's division. She doesn't need it to be, I guess, recognized. But since Mania season has started, since all this stuff came with Io, and when she got the rematch, and then she won the title from Rhea on Raw, she's been thought of like they're kind of treating her like an afterthought. Like you're just there. No, yes, I think that Mania she needs to walk away, basically with that championship, saying the hell with both you bitches. Kind of like she did Monday. She dropped them and she walked back with the title up the ramp backwards, saying basically screw y'all.
I was just gonna say there was another episode to where she had enough of their bullcrap then too, and she ended up flipping out. And I don't remember who it was.
It was probably on Bailey back when Damage Control was still a thing. Like, Damage Control, I feel like it was very thrown together. I never liked it to begin with. And at this point, Io, like I said, Io needs this win at Mania. She needs this statement, like we've been saying, like, you're not going to forget about me. I'm champion for a reason. Yeah, but anyway, like I said, I digress. I mean, right now, the only person I feel like is kind of up in the air in the whole situation is Rhea Ripley. yeah, mommy might always be on top, but mommy really doesn't have a story after this, if you think about it, because I mean, we've seen her versus Liv 1,000 times. Nobody wants to see that anymore. Bianca, the fact that there still hasn't been any super major like backlash with involving Jade and what the hell is her name? Naomi. Yes.
That could be why they're putting Rhea in there.
Ripley doesn't have what now?
What? You all right, you tell me what.
Ripley doesn't have what?
She doesn't have a story after this. What's her story?
Whoa, stop. Are we not paying attention there, Mr. TBK?
I might not be.
Rhea is on top, for one. Rhea is on top of the division right now.
Yes.
It's very easy for her to be inserted into any angle, any story, any new feud. But the long-awaited Paige, I don't know if you caught this, was it yesterday or the day before yesterday, announced that she's homebound.
Yes, I have.
And both these women have expressed their desire to tag with each other.
I didn't exactly forget about it, but right now I'm playing everything close to the chest. Until Paige shows up, then as far as my mind is concerned, Rhea has nothing after Mania. Until she shows back up, Rhea Ripley has no story going forward. It is what it is. Like I said, Bianca has something secure with the fallout with Jade and Naomi. Io puts her stamp on it, and she makes them recognize her as a dominant champion. Rhea afterwards, again, you got to think, Rhea inserted herself into this match. She didn't earn it. So she played like the underhand card, like I'm going to be in this match because I'm Rhea fucking Ripley, which I heard it said, I forgot who said it, but someone said here recently, you're not going to have a WrestleMania card without Rhea Ripley on it. So that just makes sense.
I'd actually like to move forward onto this. I know, PBK, you and I have had a difference of opinion with this one individual involved in this ordeal.
We didn't almost have a fight over the phone. What are you talking about?
Transition into the Jey Uso versus Gunther matchup and what happened on Raw with their promo.
Yeet.
They say Jey Uso deserves where he's at. You disagreed. London Lee. What is your take? Let's get a lady's perspective. What is your feel on Jey and Gunther?
He already knows I cannot stand Gunther. I think he has the personality of a piece of toast. See, he's smiling. He already knows. I have a very, very strong dislike for Gunther. I am very much a Jey Uso mark. He knows that too.
She used the M word.
But like I said, with Gunther though, I personally I don't like him. He doesn't capture my attention. Granted, he's good technically with wrestling, but like I said, just he does not capture my attention at all.
Good performer. He's a good performer. He's a talent. He's definitely a top talent, but he doesn't do it for you. No, okay. So we and we know you yeet. You're all about to yeet. We get it. I'm feeling that out of that. You're all about to yeet. Okay. Can we get TBK to give us a yeet? Can we get TBK to do a yeet?
Do it.
No. Oh, yeet. No, okay.
But as far as like their storyline goes, with him doing everything that he did to Jimmy, I mean, it's good storytelling.
Yeah.
No wonder why he's pissed, because if that was me in that predicament, I would be pissed too. But as far as him rubbing the blood and everything else all over him from SmackDown, you haven't seen stuff like that in a long time. So I think it kind of gets under people's skin.
Definitely was a good spot.
It was.
It was a great spot. And I made the joke, ladies and gentlemen, that me and Chris had a very spirited debate over the phone about this very topic. And I've gone on record many times. I'll do it again to say that I don't think, despite how crazy over he is, that Jay is ready to be champion. But that promo that he delivered against Gunther, he took all the nonsense, all the jumping around, all the gyrating, all the pandering to the crowd, all the bullshit. When he stripped all that away, and even at one point during his promo was telling the crowd, hey, stop that eat shit. I'm talking serious here. I was like, I did one of these. I leaned in.
Because you got an uncandid moment.
You know, the guys, the one word get over guys, okay? Stone Cold, LA Knight, now Jey Uso. I mean, yeah, they got the crowd in the palm of their hands, but again, that still doesn't mean that you're ready to be that face, that title
gun.
holding face of the company. And I don't know, but I will digress. I will give credit where credit is due. The fact that Jay delivered the promo and Gunther, it was all over his face. He had nothing to say. He actually looked worried for a moment. You're big.
He definitely got off.
He
kind of stood down about it.
He was thrown off, right? Your big gripe about him is that he has no personality. They're giving it to I've told you before, Gunther's gimmick is that straight lace, no nonsense. This is business. The ring is sacred. He reminds me of Vladimir Kozlov, but that was their gimmicks. They were straightforward. There was no bullshit. There was no nonsense. And you got to think too, Gunther, again, he is not just your run of the mill. He is endorsed by Taker. He's endorsed by Shawn Michaels. He's endorsed by Triple H. This guy has gotten the rub from three very, very prominent dudes in this fucking business. And it's because he is formidable. He is a dominant champion. He is a believable champion. He is a realistic champion. This is the kind of guy that you want Jey Uso to win the belt from. You don't want him to win the belt from some crackpot asshole who's going out there, you know, pandering to the crowd and yeeting, hopping and all this bullshit. No, Gunther is perfect for Jay because he's everything that Jay isn't.
On the flip side of things, where we differ from, yes, he had that promo that showed a very serious side to Jay. Other than what we saw from the bloodline when things got serious or controversial with him and his brother and Roman, this was probably the most serious I've seen Jay. And like to your point, your point was that didn't feel that Jay was ready for those flowers yet. To my point with to the opposite, to me to go the opposite route with you. Yes, Jimmy and Jay are a tag team. They came in together. They've come up through the ranks together. They've been there 10 plus years with each other. And he's a high merch seller. Mm-hmm. He's extensively, overwhelmingly over with the audience. And in every demographic in the audience, women, children, men, it doesn't matter. He's over with them. And after all the intense angles that they put him through with the bloodline, giving Jay this push or this bump and a little bit of love, having him main event with winning the Rumble and going into WrestleMania and taking the title off of Gunther, even if it's a temporary run or a small run, it's due. It's owed. He's earned it. His time, his hard work, his effort, everything he's done, his time with the company and what he's done for the company as far as money goes, he's earned it. He can yeet. He could come out and talk out of his ass like Ace Ventura every night.
Excuse me.
I'd like to ask you a few questions.
He's earned it.
I think he's been there long enough to earn everything that he has right now, to be honest with you.
But to something that TBK and I both had talked about off the air is, I do feel that if you're going to push Jay for what he's done, you got to do something credible with Jimmy too.
It's almost kind of like whenever a tag team splits, there is always one that gets more of a push than the other.
Right.
Look at Edge and Christian. Edge got more of a push. Look at the Hardys. Jeff got more of a push. There's always
Shawn Michaels, Marty Jannetty.
Yeah. There's always one who gets more of the push and the crowd interaction. There's always one that's going to be a little bit more flashy.
Okay, I'm about to shock the world. Chris, you ready for this? London, you ready for this?
Are you going to eat?
No. I just had a thought. I have compared Jey Uso to Jeff Hardy many, many times. You both have heard me do it. And I just sat here and said, so let me not make a hypocrite out of myself. I don't like all the yeeting and the jumping and the gyrating and all that. I can't be a hypocrite. If I can't get down with the yeet, then I have no business getting down with the juke. Because the juke was the yeet before the yeet was the yeet. Jeff Hardy would come out there and juke and do the Hardy juke.
And today, instead of yeet, it's delete.
It's delete, right?
And his brother are, delete.
So if I can get behind the juke, and I'm a Hardy fan, then I won't say I can appreciate, but I can understand. I can understand the yeet. So there.
We've turned. He did a face turn in the middle of the broadcast.
TBK turns face. Shit.
I'd like to get behind a lot of these guys' work ethic because, there it is.
You gotta say it though.
I won't say it. You got the hand motion. That's it.
I like to get behind a lot of these guys' work ethic. You get a lot of these guys and a lot of these ladies that have been in this business, and they're busting their ass every day. And to an extent, being over is very important. It's part of the gig.
It is.
But you got to think. You got to figure out, like, a lot of these people have been in the business years plus 5, 10, 15 years or more. You got to give them something. You can't just and that's the problem with a lot of the talent. TBK, you and I have talked about this before. So many talents and so many people, men, women alike, in the past have been overlooked, just forgotten about. They were there for just BS reasons or shits and giggles. And I'll give you a prime example. Shane Helms. Sugar Shane Helms. Phenomenal cruiserweight. Phenomenal lightweight. They dressed him up like a superhero and they wasted his career away. He could have easily been tag champion a lot more than he was, or maybe a cruiserweight more than he was, or maybe I'd even say rival Intercontinental at some point. He was a great talent in the ring. He was a good performer. Same things with, I'll give you another one, Billy Kidman.
I used to be a huge Billy Kidman fan.
There's a lot of guys in the past that had either a good character or a good in-ring ability, but for some reason they either didn't connect with Vince or they didn't connect with the audience, or maybe they connected with one or the other, and they just got forgotten about. The ones that kill me are the ones that got over. They were getting over, or the audience loved them, but they never went anywhere because someone backstage didn't want it. But they put in that work they put in 100% every week.
I mean, for God's sake, look what they did to Bray. I mean,
started.
I
was going to say that's a whole other rabbit hole to go down.
It'll be a whole different video for sure. Let's keep the ball rolling. Let's keep things moving. I do want to give a subtle shout out. My man, rest in peace, Carlito, that spear, bro. Jesus. Holy
killed him.
shit. That, like,
I wonder, if you speak to him, or maybe we can get some people to figure it out. Like, I want to know, did he think that was cool?
bro, like, I know, okay, we know the spear, you're supposed to put your whole body into it. Braun, yeah, like, good.
He put a fucking missile behind his ass into that.
He put 2 bodies behind that shit. Good fucking guy. I have never, that spear alone wiped out anything that Goldberg or Edge has ever done. If he keeps it up, he already got that mini rub from Taker. Dude, he could absolutely be the new Phenom. The stuff that he is doing, the stuff that, like, the speed that he's achieving when he's hitting the ropes, the absolute just power that he possesses. Holy shit. Also,
My man's got like a full-blown missile up his ass.
I think you got this company grooming Braun Breaker to be basically the next equivalent of these 4 individuals combined. And that's Brock, Goldberg, Ryback,
and
okay,
Batista.
and Batista. Like, he is like
I
a
was gonna say
combination
Batista
of
too.
all 4.
Yeah. Oh,
And he's a new generational talent. Like you said, 23 years old. And I kind of see a little bit of every one of those guys in him. And yeah, forced to be reckoned with.
yeah.
Yo.
Yeah. But speaking of,
Hold on, real quick. Something else that we were talking about, and we gotta give a shout out to the man himself, Mr. Cero Miedo Penta, man. Hey, he's only been with the company going on 3 months, and he's got a match at WrestleMania. Congratulations. Congratulations, Penta. Hell yeah. Super happy for him, man. Super happy for that guy. Him and his brother both. Like, these are 2 guys who, the WWE was always the goal. It was always the goal for these guys, and to see it paying off.
I think about the escalation and evolution over the years. I remember when luchadors used to run out in lawnmowers. They used to drive down to the ring on a lawnmower or bicycles. And the only luchador that got recognition, or the only cruiserweight at the time that got recognition, was Ray.
Yeah,
Yep.
sure.
And now look at that. Like, this is incredible. Yeah. But I will say something else, speaking of incredible, not to go off of Penta so quickly, but Raw had one hell of an incredible closing moment. Very intriguing.
Indeed.
Very interesting.
It's almost like what I was telling you the other day.
What did I say? What did I say, though? Something with Heyman and Rollins. What was that I said?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Well, all right. So, to give a little clarity here, Mr. Chris Craven over there had said that he believed very strongly that there is going to be a double turn, and that, in fact, Paul Heyman will be leaving with Seth Rollins.
I'll give you an alternative, though. I'll say one of 2 things. Because it looks, after Raw went off there, I thought about it a little bit. I even rewatched it. It could really go one of 4 ways, but I think only one of 2 ways is probable that I can see happening right as of now.
Okay.
It's either Heyman walks in with Punk, he goes back and forth between Punk and Roman, but a swerve and a screw job happens, and he leaves with. It results with him either forcefully having to leave with Rollins, as Rollins forcing him to go with him, or he goes with Rollins willingly in a screw job at a new angle.
Right.
Or in the middle of this match, something goes down where Heyman has enough. No matter what it is, whether it's them fighting over him, whether it's Rollins trying to stop him again, something happens where Heyman has enough and he walks out on all of them. I would say somewhere in the beginning of the match. So the majority of the match is just the three guys alone. I see that happening in one of those two ways.
I want a Shield reunion with Paul.
So there's a reason why I waited to go last. Because I threw out a theory yesterday on the phone to Mr. Chris Craven that I don't know if he thought about, and I don't know if you guys out there listening thought about. By the way, make sure to leave some comments. I think that there is one person that everybody, he's always on their minds, but we're just not sure about. And the reason I bring this individual up is because, like I said, if you've been paying attention, they've been saying his name an awful lot. I think that if Paul Heyman decides to leave these three men, if he leaves them at the beginning, you can still pull it off. If he leaves them at the end, you can still pull it off. What if he walks up that ramp, lets the match happen, and at the very, very end, right as the logo comes up on the screen for night one, we hear the music of one Brock Lesnar. Oh my fucking God. You want to talk about losing your shit? I will go nuts. Because that is the one man who has spent probably the most time with Paul Heyman.
Yes, he is. He's definitely the longest client Heyman has had. This is why this makes this story so interesting. With Heyman as the focus point between these three gentlemen involved in the match, or even if you want to throw in Brock
And I'm
in the
sorry,
equation.
and I don't mean to cut you off. I'm gonna let you talk right back. Look at what you just said. Look at these three guys. You got Seth, you got Punk, and you got Roman. And the main focus of the match is Paul Heyman. That's insane.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, I made this joke to you a couple of days ago, or maybe a week ago. I said it'd be funny as hell if you had a match with all the Paul Heyman guys fighting over custody of Paul Heyman. No, it's just funny to me. All these guys included, even if you include Brock, okay, whether he shows up or he doesn't, you got to include him. He's definitely one guy that, he's definitely the Paul Heyman guy as well. But all three of these guys are fighting. There's no set reason. They're not fighting for a title. They're not fighting to rule the yard or to be the leader of Raw or SmackDown. There's no bullshit reason why they're fighting other than personal drama.
Yep.
But mainly because of Heyman. They are all fighting because of Heyman.
Yep.
Before Monday, I'd have said that Punk and Roman are only fighting for Heyman, and Rollins is fighting for his own bitterness.
Yeah, well,
But as
remember
we saw Monday when it went off the air.
Remember what Rollins said. Remember what Rollins said to Heyman. He said, "There's no one left to save you." Yes, there is. There is one man. There's one man left. And like I said, if that music goes off, boy, I will punch my TV.
But was Rollins mentioning that because he's forgetting Brock? Or is Rollins mentioning that because
he's teasing Brock?
There is a swerve coming. Rollins being the next Heyman guy.
I don't
I
see
feel
it.
like
Seth
he would
doesn't need
necessarily.
He
That's
doesn't.
what I was going to say. I don't think that he would need him.
And then what is
He
he going to do?
doesn't.
Just hold him hostage just because Roman can't have him?
But think about this, and I said this to you the other day. It's like back in the early 2000s, Big Show and Brock were feuding. Big Show didn't need Heyman, but Paul swerved on Brock. Went with Show at Survivor Series that year, 2002, I believe. It wasn't No one saw it coming, but it happened. He has swerved on Brock. He has swerved on Punk. Heyman, we got to think, like you said, the focus point's on Heyman right now, right?
Yes.
Heyman is not exactly the fucking, Saint Michael or something. He's not some saint, dude. He has screwed over his talent before.
Oh, absolutely, and that's what I'm saying. Like I said, you've got 3 prominent talents, the most prominent talents, and the focus of the match is on a fucking general manager. It just happens that general manager is fucking Paul Heyman. Like it's big all the way around. No matter how you stretch this, but man.
Personally, I told you yesterday, I want to see Paul Heyman stop being the scared little fat boy. I want to see, no offense, I want to see that arrogance and that cockiness of like the old Paulie Dangerously.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to see that Paul Heyman come back. I get it. He's 59, 60 years old, but come on, man, the guy can still run his mouth, and he still has an arsenal of talent that he could call from anywhere. Think about it. It isn't just Brock. It isn't just Roman or Punk. There are a lot of Paul Heyman guys in the back.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of guys that aren't with the company, are with the company, retired, even new guys that are Paul Heyman guys that are still in NXT. Paul gets around. He works with so many guys.
I was going to say...
You either you love him or you hate him.
I was going to say, so if we do get Brock back, right, the only way that I subscribe, not the only way, but one of the ways that I subscribe to Jay going over on Gunther is so that we finally get Gunther versus Brock. Because that was supposed to happen.
But let me ask you this. Let's say Brock doesn't happen. I know that you don't think that Heyman belongs with Rollins. What would your outlook on that be if that happened come the end of night 1 or night 2, whatever night that happens?
If he walks out on all of them and there's no payoff at the end, if there's no swerve at the end, if then I don't know. I think we're all.
If he screws Punk and Roman,
yeah,
walks out willingly with Rollins.
Yes.
Your take on that?
I don't like it. Seth has enough of a mouth. Paul Heyman is a mouth. Like
Punk didn't need a mouth.
Punk didn't need a mouth. Roman didn't need a mouth after a while. He got a lot better on the mic after fucking John Cena destroyed his ass when he was the big dog.
Life lessons, you learn, you live and learn. No,
right. But yeah, but
Well, that's because Vince had him doing all that stuff.
I don't know. I don't see where it goes. Like maybe I can't say that. Oh, I was gonna say maybe he gets him to stop wearing Becky's clothes, but but I don't know, dude. I don't know. I don't like it. I don't see it. That's one thing that I can't put my finger on. I don't know.
Talk about it like this because, okay, for the longest time, you could probably pick a storyline out of a hat and guess it right 20 times a week. Because after a while, Vince got repetitive. You could tell a thing, you could see everything coming a mile away.
Yeah.
With Paul Levesque, Triple H doing this and doing his thing, he's definitely got some better stories. He's got better angles. And he's got a lot of people guessing. Yeah, maybe you can still see some of the shit coming a mile away. But he's still got a good amount in his pocket that you don't see yet.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where I kind of keep
never know.
Any one of these big, like, marquee matches at Mania, any of them, the triple threat between the boys, the triple threat between the girls, Cena and Cody, McIntyre and Priest, AJ and Paul, any of these big matches that they got going on. Hell, we still don't know what's going on with Orton's match with Owens. Is he really hurt? Is he not hurt? Is someone going to step in, like maybe an Aleister Black or maybe Rusev, something like that? We don't know. You have a lot of these top matches that Triple H is cooking in the kitchen. You can smell you can smell a little bit, but you still can't figure out what he's making. And I think this year, and I said it earlier this year, around Rumble, I think Mania this year is going to have more kick and more oomph behind it than we've seen yet. I think he's doing something really big, or maybe multiple big things, for ranging from SmackDown to all the way through the whole weekend at Mania, and finally finishing up on the Raw after Mania. I think we're in for a very big WrestleMania weekend. We're going big here. I get that vibe.
As always, guys, we hope we gave you a lot to think about. Man, hey, look, at the time of this recording, we are a week away. Next week is the go home shows, man. We've made it. We're almost there. If you are as excited as we are and you like what you hear, make sure to hit that like button, hit the sub. It does help out the channel, and leave some comments, guys. Let us know what you guys think. Are you as excited as we are? Is it ramped up enough for you? Is it not ramped up enough yet? For Ringside Pulse, this has been Raw Rewind. I am TBK, joined by Chris Craven and London Lee. See ya.
See ya.
Good night.